Hi, and welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. Yeah, you know. You already know. I'm excited. You know, doing the work that I do, the important work that I do, the important work of the Chamber, we don't do it alone. We do it with partnerships. And this is one of our partners, and just a partner of all of Miami-Dade County. And we have with us today the Senior Vice President of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, Multicultural Tourism and Development Office team, Connie Kinnard. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, we were just talking before we came on. Man, it's been 8 years.
8 years. I moved here in 2015 and haven't looked back.
And you've been doing such an amazing job just getting immersed in our community. I mean, your job is to bring people to our community. But what I've seen, you've gone way beyond that. Just, you know, bringing folks from around the world to Miami-Dade County, from the United States, Canada, Europe, South America, so on and so forth. Focusing on multicultural tourism,
Right.
which Black tourism, brown tourism, multiculturals, cultures.
That's right.
And, you know, today we're here to talk about something very specific. But before we lead into that, the one thing that you've been doing even before MD, and we're here to talk about MD and their program for Black Business Month, but you've been working with small businesses, Black businesses in particular, to help them grow and to help them get ready for tourism.
Right.
And, you know, that's what we are, a community of, we're a tourism community.
That's right.
That's what the whole state of Florida was basically built on tourism. But in August is Black Business Month. And you joined team with MD. Can you talk about that and why it was important for the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau to become a part of that?
Absolutely. First, thank you for having me here again. And as you mentioned, it is about bringing people to our community, but it is also about connecting the businesses in our community, our heritage neighborhoods, to tourism. And so that is what we do. And we do that 365. That's our goal, to continue to do that. And, you know, August is Black Business Month nationally as well, and we're honored to be a part of MD's push to elevate even more. But as you know, I know, and MD, we do it, all of us.
Right.
It's a 365 undertaking, and a wonderful undertaking at that. The partnership is important because it's just it's a way to show the collaborations within our community, that we all take this very seriously at a time when our small businesses really need support. And so I think that's very important. And then, of course, just working with MD, Miami-Dade Chamber, organizations that have been around a long time doing this work.
Right.
It's very important that we as the Convention Bureau are a part. As you mentioned, tourism is our #1 industry in this area. And so there should be a focus and a push on those businesses that directly or even indirectly related to tourism. So we're happy to be a part of this elevation awareness for our small businesses.
Right. Now, you mentioned the heritage communities. What does
that mean?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know, for those that know our community, traditionally there are certain areas that traditionally speak to certain diasporas. It's not necessarily like that, because we know all of Miami-Dade is diverse in all cultures.
Absolutely.
But particularly from a tourism standpoint, visitors come to our destination, and then they can come to pockets of our community particularly and get certain elements of a culture. Flavors. You can go to Little Havana.
Right.
Can go to Little Haiti, you know, historic Overtown, Coconut Grove, Miami Gardens, Alapata, we can continue. So some of those areas that have some of those really unique businesses and experiences, we want to make sure that they are being touched by tourism as well, and not the mainstream. There's nothing wrong. Hey, I love the beach, I love the water, the weather, and all that. It's all together. But sometimes in these pockets of the communities, sometimes they're not at the table or get left out, or a visitor may not know. So our goal is to eliminate that and make sure that visitors know and can touch some of the businesses and experiences that make our community unique and diverse, as you said, the way it is.
Right. What you just mentioned, the beach and those things, the exciting things, it made my mind go someplace totally different in our conversation. And the fact that here we live in a community that people save up all year long to come to.
That's right.
So what would you say to those of us who live here and, kind of, it's like you can't see the forest for the trees? Talk about that a little bit.
That's an excellent point. We have this jewel, this paradise right here in our own backyard. And I would encourage our local residents to get out and about and experience your own community. It is a jewel. And I think more and more, which is one of the things that I like about the area of tourism and development and connecting with the community, there's, I think, more awareness of some of these community jewels, and we do push our residents to even be a part of it. Right. Things like Miami Spice and Miami Spa and all those things, yeah, they're for visitors to take a part of, but that whole program, Temptations, was really about our local community being able to kind of get out and about and experience those things. So, no, you're really on point. Locals, we need you too. Yeah, from a tourism standpoint, small businesses need you as well as visitors.
Absolutely. And like I said, the more I think about it, and obviously the Chamber, the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau has done a great job over the years promoting local engagement. But I really, and me as a board member,
yes,
and a lot of times I don't get to all the meetings, and I'm sure you all are doing, not that I'm sure, I know you're doing a phenomenal job, but I just see us really elevating that local, as I said, people save for years to come to spend time on our beaches, spend money in our hotels, and just South Florida in general. But obviously, you're focused on Miami-Dade County, and we talk about the heritage areas, we talk about Overtown, we talk about Little Havana, we talk about Coconut Grove, and then we go down south to Homestead,
absolutely,
and Richmond Heights. And we are such a diverse community, a beautiful community. So I just want to say kudos to the CVB for all the work that you all do.
Thank you.
We're going to take a little break in a moment, but talk about, before we take that break, the importance of your job.
I'm again very thankful to be in this role, multicultural tourism and development. I'm getting to learn about my community. I'm getting to help us together make an impact. I think it's very important, again, because with tourism being our #1 industry, there is no reason that the connection to our cultural and our heritage community shouldn't be there even more. And so, I feel it's important, not even just about me, but what our team does, what the extensions of the multicultural tourism push is important, because it is about livelihood, it's about seeing businesses grow, it is about sharing the economic wealth.
Absolutely. We're talking about the economic wealth. We'll be right back. We'll take a break.
This is garbage, and you probably think all of it just goes to waste. But in Miami-Dade, we convert most of what you throw away into energy. In our waste-to-energy facility, we can turn about 90% of your everyday garbage into reusable fuel.
Levels look good.
That creates clean electricity for our community. Enough energy to power 35,000 homes. Pretty illuminating, huh? In Miami-Dade, nothing goes to waste.
Hi, and welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I'm your host, Eric Knowles, and we have the Senior Vice President of Multicultural Tourism and Development, Ms. Connie Kinnard. Man, it's always so great to be in your presence, Connie. Like I said, you've been here 8 years now, and you begin to change the landscape. I've seen a lot of change happening since you've come, And one of those changes is working with small businesses. And you have several different programs to help them not only to grow, or not only to, say, prepare themselves to be a part of this tourism ecosystem.
Right.
Talk about that, the programming that you will do to help small businesses grow.
Right. So the program under the Bureau is called our Tourism Business Enhancement Program. And really, it's just a way that we, as a tourism bureau, can reach out, help where we can to businesses that want to learn more about tourism, but then also just honestly want to help grow their business because we collaborate with entities like MD, like the Miami-Dade Chamber, the Hispanic Chambers on programming. So we all share that collective. But we felt it very important to do that because if we want to connect those dots that I talked about, then what are we doing as a convention bureau to help do it? Not many bureaus have anything that's really dealing with business development or the business outreach because traditionally bureaus are about conventions only, sell, come here, but honestly don't necessarily have the time and resources to get out and do that connection and relationship building, connecting. So again, fortunate to be in that. So it's tourism business enhancement. We partner with organizations that can be helpful in various aspects of business. We lead programs from the Convention Bureau. We will take one of our partners and ask them to lead specific sessions on topics. It could be marketing. It could be the AI that's happening and how that affects your business. And then, of course, we bring in how it can affect with tourism. So we do those things throughout the year. Under that, I hope everybody listening has heard of Art of Black Miami.
That was like my brain was going. That was
Art of Black Miami. Art of Black Miami is a standalone program, but truly it's a part of business development because you know what? If you're an artist, you are also a business.
Absolutely.
And you can function and be and also receive the connections and the benefits as well in this tourism space. So with our artists, we do some of the same type programming, but a little bit more specific towards that creative space in business development. So those are some of the things that we do.
Well, it's important when you talk about the Art of Black Miami. Obviously, Art Basel being one of the largest art show that comes to Miami, South Florida. Obviously, it's over in Switzerland.
Basel, Switzerland.
Yeah, and that's Basel, Switzerland.
Yes.
And so it's been here in Miami, and you have, I mean, hundreds of thousands of people that come and they get to be exposed. We're talking about Black artists.
Yes.
And not just the Art of Black Miami, the fact that you're exposed, but the other thing that you're doing with that is you're bringing artists and you're bringing tourists to these heritage communities. So talk about that connection as well.
That's right. So overall, with our push as an organization to bring visitors to our community, our push is when they get here that they experience all of Miami-Dade, from South Dade, Homestead, to North Miami, to Miami Gardens, South Beach, and everything in between. And so with that, we have done an extra elevation to promote our neighborhoods. And in that, as it connects to the art, as you mentioned, a lot of the communities have art and artists and museums and things of that nature within those communities. So when those hundreds of thousands come in for Basel, and then when people come throughout the year, we want them to know that they can get a touch of that art almost anywhere in our community. There are artists now up and coming and artists that have been in business a while that they can get some wonderful pieces. In addition to that, some of those same artists also can connect the dots. We have a local artist that has just done a mural at one of our hotels here through the connection and the referral with Art of Black Miami. So there are all kinds of connections from a visitor standpoint as a way to connect the dot, and then the artist from a local standpoint to even engage more. So this Art of Black Miami just elevates the fact that we have some great talent in our community, and we want to just make sure everybody gets elevated and everybody is aware of what we have.
Right, and that's interesting that you say the fact that there's an artist who basically got an opportunity to do a mural at one of our hotels. So that's, as we talk about scaling, you know, a business. And as you said, art, being an artist is a business. So no, that's great. You know, one thing that we spoke about, we talked about a little bit, we're talking about the fact that you've been here 8 years, and with the pandemic, lost a couple years.
Yeah, all of a sudden 5 in 2020 now is at 8.
Right. But one thing I want to talk about is how are we recovering from the pandemic? And the fact, you know, I know you have all kinds of statistics and so on and so forth, but how did the pandemic impact you in your role and the CVB all around?
All around, right. I think it really made us refocus on the importance and important things within our industry and within our goals and our strategic planning and things of that nature. Because the pandemic, or whether it's some of the advisories that are happening, it does make you refocus to see where your priorities are and where you need to heighten certain things. And really with that, going back to the whole Black Business Month, small business, a focus should continue to be and elevate our small business area, because whether it's pandemic or anything that affects travel, our businesses will be affected. And so I think that has made us be more aware, as you mentioned, community and local, that has made us be more aware. As a matter of fact, we will be launching a campaign that's called Brought to You by Tourism. Okay. And so what that will be is help our community be more aware of what tourism brings to our community. Okay. So to your question, I think it allowed us to kind of refocus and implement other strategies for what we do as a bureau, and then just support the fact that we work for the community. Absolutely. And so it's not just about people coming in and, you know, doing their thing and leaving. It is also about the community that is here, that's here all the time. Absolutely. We need to speak to both.
Because if the community isn't healthy,
that's right,
then tourism isn't going to be healthy.
That's right.
So it's very important. I'm going to throw a hardball at you. You know, we've had some challenges in the state, and there have been, you kind of touched on it a little bit, been some advisories about coming to Florida, coming to Miami. And I know my comment has been, you know, Black businesses have been challenged even before the pandemic, even before an advisory and the challenges we're having with the state. So my message has been come and support Black business. I know the CVB has brought their perspective as well.
That's right. You know, first we respect the purpose of organizations and views and viewpoints as far as the advisory. We respect that. You know, we have a mission as well, so we have to move forward in the best way we know how to support our mission, even amidst those advisories. And so what we say, number one, we hope that an organization, people will still come to our community, first and foremost. If they choose not to, a convention that has to, because of the mission and the goals aligned, that they don't need to come there, we say, we appreciate you considering us, and please keep us in mind for the future.
Absolutely.
But then the third piece is, if you come, make sure that you're spending dollars in those places that align with the bigger picture of all of this. Right. Because if you still come and that's not part of the intent, but you want to acknowledge things that are going on, a way you can help do that is supporting those businesses that could be adversely affected. Absolutely. And so that's really our positioning on that. We have we have some of the messaging on our website and those things, but yes, that's our positioning.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you know, we can talk about that probably for another good half hour,
we could.
But our time is wrapping up. How can they get in touch with you?
You can email me if anybody wants to email. They can, Connie@GMCVB.com. Connie@GMCVB.com. Go to our website, Miami and MiamiBeach.com, and all the information about us and everything we do is there.
And you can reach the chamber at 305-751-8648, m-dcc.org. Thank you. This has been the Miami-Dade Chamber Member Connection. See you next time.